Hello there guys and welcome. The weather might be a bit choice, but the stock certainly isn't. Austin yellow BMW M4 with some fantastic subtle modification and upgrades aesthetically. Let me tell you, this thing is absolutely immense and I cannot wait to tell you just why this 426 brake horsepower behemoth should be definitely considered as your next car. So let's stop talking and get stuck in. Austin yellow metallic paintwork, absolutely incredible. It's almost got a tinge of green in certain lights, like the tricolour or the pearlescent cars of the past. It's a very rare colour, it's a very statement colour, but it's a very statement car. So this is one that I can wholeheartedly get behind. LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. You've got your honeycomb black grille and you've got the bespoke M bumpers all across. Here you've got your front parking distance control. As you can see all across there, you've got wicked angular M bespoke bumpers, gloss black kidney grille. The crash bar behind has been colour coded to Estral blue. It's just an awesome looking bit of kit. Obviously your brake calipers are also Estral blue behind your 666M style competition alloys. It's just a fantastic looking car from every angle. Carbon fibre wrapped M4 just here. As you can see on the side vent, the car is dripping in additional extras. Austin yellow mirrors with gloss black styling, gloss black window surround. Have a carbon fibre roof direct from factory, shark fin antenna, and down here you've got a nice aftermarket CT carbon splitter. Not carbon fibre, it's just the brand of CT carbon, which against the already extended M specific flared side skirt gives it a really nice aesthetic appearance and stance. Tinted privacy glass, and as Wiz Khalifa says, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. It looks amazing together. You've got a really nice carbon rear lip just here. Fantastic, again, optional extra. And moving down, you've got the black M4 badge and the BMW, just so you know, LED rear lights. Now at the back of this car is where it gets really awesome, really quickly, and I'm sure you'll agree. BMW badge, where it was previously sold at EAG, shout out to those guys. M4, now brace yourselves folks. Oh yeah, that's a lot of carbon fibre, and that is an M performance exhaust. As you can see, it looks absolutely incredible along the back down here. Dripping in carbon, dripping in style, rear parking distance control. This M4 has everything, and it's also got quite a lot of space in the boot. Now there's a quick taster of what the interior has in store for you. But as you can see, this is littered with options and convenience features. It's just a fantastic looking M4. Here you've got a little reverse camera, and let's just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of what this car is from another angle. You can see now, in a bit of a doomy gloomy mid-morning, that paintwork is still showcasing itself in the best way possible. No dents, no dinks, nice straight lines all the way across this car, meticulously looked after, and one that we're very proud to have here at Emerald HQ. As you'll know, we've got a reputation for being probably the best car dealership in the UK, and it's examples like this of why we are proud to display that moniker. But now I'm going to show you what the interior has in store. So you can see, first off, centre console dripping in carbon fibre, and there's a sneak peek. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a Sakhir orange merino leather interior against the yellow. Some might love it, some might hate it, but for me it just oozes the style, charm, class and statement that an M car should have. If I just pan out a little bit for you, I think you'll actually understand and agree that that works ever so well. So what can I tell you about the interior? Well, I can tell you, you've got electric memory seating just here with lumbar support. You've got automatic lights, you've got LED headlights, you've got fog lights, you've got lane display, lane assist. Moving on to your half leather door card, you've got obviously your 2 front windows are electric, your rear ones are fixed. Folding mirrors that are also electrically adjustable. You've got an old school analog display, not full black panel, but it doesn't take anything away from how nice and how simplistic and stylish the design is of the cockpit. You've got a Napa leather 3-spoke multifunction steering wheel with the M contrast stitching. You've got cruise control, you've got driving modes. M1 is quite subtle and tame, but it gives you a nicer note. M2, well, technically put, that's all out, balls out, and that will totally transform your driving experience. You can configure that so you only have paddle shift, you don't have traction control. There's many different options that you can do, but that is almost taking it to the future. Voice control, volume control, mode and Bluetooth telephone. You've of course got paddle shift, indicators, high beam assist, auto wipers. The car is just etched in style. Carbon fibre all throughout, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Exactly what you would expect from a car of the M4 stature. Nice professional media there, or Pro Nav. Air vent system, CD player and modes. You've also got your air conditioning, which is dual zone, and heated seats. Moving down, you've got storage. This will actually pop out. You've got 2 cup holders, and down here you've got the famous DCT semi-automatic gearbox. Now these are, along with DSG, one of the better gearboxes available. Simply you have drive or sports mode, and on these, this little button here, if you click it, which I'll show you very shortly, on the instrument cluster, that will change the sharpness and the severity of how snappy the gear change is. So if you tick it up to the full 3 bars, that will give you almost a track-like race car almost esque feel, and that will be short, sharp, snappy, probably throw you back in your seat. But if you put it down to the lowest bar, that will be almost a comfort setting, and the gear changes in between the transition you probably wouldn't even realise. On here you've got the button that's for the Brave, which is traction control, and here you have all your different options and configuration of how you would like your driving experience. In here you've got your parking control and your parking sensor noise, and on here you've got the synonymous BMW iDrive. This will of course control your instrument cluster just up here, not instrument cluster, sorry, your media control system, and that will allow you to go through media, radio, menu, sat nav and the car configuration. Under here you've got your USB and auxiliary in, and that will also push forward depending on where you want to position your arms. You'll see here it's very clever, and the BMW will tell you, due to the temperature it's currently at, the highest point of which you can rev the car. Now these buttons here, as I said, are your drive configure mode, so if I click on them you can see I can change the engine setup on how it drives. So we can have Sport Plus. The suspension you can have in comfort, so it's not too firm, and the steering you can have Sport Plus, which is the most responsive, or you can have comfort, which gives it a nice easy light feel. High beam assist, if you click that button there, that is your high beam assist. And the media center, don't worry about the lines, it's not on the camera, it's just my phone. So there you go, that is your satellite navigation system. You can zoom right the way in, and there's plenty of options of which you can do. So if you click on the button here, the little circle, and you push it right, that will bring up your option panel, and on here you can change all the bits of what you would like to do. For me, I would always have perspective on there, and that just changes all the map. Now onto the menu, multimedia, so that could be CD, DVD. Obviously your DVDs won't work when you're driving, you would need to enable video in motion, which most aftermarket car coders can do. You've got a hard drive, USB, your phone, iPods if they're still a thing, and you can change how your sound is delivered. There is no Harman Kardon on this, so you don't have the option to set that up. Radio, you've got AM, FM, DAB. Basically, you've got DAB, you wouldn't need anything else. Bluetooth telephone, you can see, click on Bluetooth devices, and it's easy to add a new device. Scrolling down, navigation, we've been on Office, Connected Drive, so that's BMW Connected Drive. You would need to speak to your dealer in order to set that up, just in case you need an activation key. Vehicle information, you can click on this. This is probably the most important one, so you can see how eco you're driving, quick reference, picture search. If you click on Owner's Handbook, what you can do, this keypad is actually a touchpad. So if I do a B, and if I do an S, and there you go, that would bring up ABS. That is your top trick for today. Onboard computer, trip computer, vehicle status or sports displays. If you click on them, it gives you the power and the torque. It's just nice when you really want to give it a nice, proper, enthusiastic drive on a weekend. If you click on vehicle status, you'll see this is the main one: tyre pressure monitor, reset, oil level, engine oil, service requirements, and check control. Check control will be if your doors are open, if you're running out of fuel, anything of that nature. Now if you click on this, you'll see you can bring up the service history. So on here you've got 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, and we ourselves have carried out a service here as part of our prep. But you can see all of these have been done by a BMW main dealer. That first one in 2015 at 1,038 mile being the most important. If you're a car guy and you know your M cars, you'll know that the running in service is of course the most crucial. So now we'll go back onto the nav, because there's not really much more to show you regarding that. Your aircon, like I say, dual zone. If I turn one side up and one side down, we've got heated seats just here if we want those on. And what we'll do, I'll show you now. So the button here, this is what I was on about. So if I put that into drive and I press that, you can see now next to the D, that will tell you how sharp and severe your gear changes are. That is comfort, that's okay, that's track mode ideally. You can knock that across again and that puts it into manual, or you can of course use the flappy paddles at any time. To change it out, you simply put your gear stick back to the right hand side. In the rear of the car, no marks, no scuffs, no scratches. There are ISOFIX points, so it is a good car for children as well. Not a lot of leg room, but if they're only little, they wouldn't miss it anyway. 2 cup holders, and you've also got a nice little bit of storage just in the back. Merino leather. It's a great looking, great sounding car. And speaking of great sounding, if I flick that into M2 mode, you'll now hear this. Now that is in the standard M2 mode, but if I take that out, you'll hear the baffles and the Valvetronic exhaust die down, and you've got the normal mode. But again, if you turn it on, you'll hear the baffles change, and there you go. We don't obviously rev the cars from cold here, so we're not going to do any further explanations of that. But you can tell that if you do put it in the M2 mode, that is where the real noise and real character and charm of an M car comes into play. But before I go, let me just remind you that every car at Emerald, including this absolutely stunning Austin Yellow M4, are all treated for the Emerald 128 point check prior to retailing. This covers cosmetics, it covers mechanical, and it's a full in-depth check before it comes on the pitch, before I make these videos, to ensure that we can offer you the car at the best that it can possibly be. It gives you lots of reassurance and confidence when buying from us, the best car dealership in the UK. Right then guys, so we are now in the absolute behemoth, which is the Austin Yellow M4, and we're going to show you all the features and downright naughty performance that this car has. But to start with, what's it like from a driver's perspective? So you've got everything at arm's length. You've got the really comfortable merino leather, and you've also got the nice armrest here, which is just at the right height and the right angle. You've got your DCT gearbox, and of course you've got your flappy paddles and your nice big Napa leather steering wheel. You've also got your armrest here, which again you can drive real comfort without ever having to worry about anything else. But you've got a nice display ahead of you as well. You can see the clocks, you can see everything, and you've got your visor here, which doesn't cut off too much of the window. So what this video is going to entail is of course showing you the lack of wheel wobble at speed. We're going to do full left lock, full right lock, different driving modes, different sounds, and all-round performance that the M4 can offer you as a potential owner. Now you'll hear, because of the M Performance exhaust system, it has got a real nice grunt and barble in natural mode. So at the minute as such, this is just in normal. It's not in any MDM mode, it's not in any M or anything like that. This is just pure standard as it is, and that's how it sounds. Real nice, and a real nice, real grunt and barble. Now you can see we'll go around this island a couple of times. People look shocked because the indicators work on a Beamer, but you can see at full lock there's no judder, no skipping, no delay, or it's totally responsive. Now in a lot of the big cars with the bigger wheels, you'll know when you put it full lock you can get a bit of a skip and it feels like it's dun-dun, but you don't get that in the M4. Now we're on a nice straight road. We're currently at 40, and if I take my hands off the wheel you can see it drives nice and straight and true. Almost so true that we're going to end up in a lamppost if I don't take action. So again, you can see really nice, really straight, really true. No need for any tracking or any concern of anything of that nature. In terms of stopping, obviously it is rear wheel drive, it is a bit wet today, but we're currently again at 40, and it stops pretty much on a pinhead as when you need it. Can't fault that. Now in terms of different gears, so what you can do, you've got your box here, you can flick that across and that will go into manual mode, of which you can either use the shifter itself, which is done this way, and you can click it up to change your gear down, and you can change it down to change your gear up, if that makes sense. So every time you want to give it a nice shift, you can do it that way. Or for me, in one of these, the best way to use it is of course paddle shift, so you don't have to take your hands off the wheel, you're in total control, and it gives you that fast and furious feel, or track mode. But the flappy paddle really is the easiest way, and working alongside that of course you've got your rev limiter on the instrument cluster. Now you'll see you've got the lights here. At the minute it's just on 6,500 revs, it starts on amber, and then you've got the 3 red lines as well. This does change as longer the drive, just because it tells you when it's safe and where it will allow and limit you to rev to, so you don't blow up your big turbocharged engine. Well done BMW, well done. We've also got the heated seats option just here, just while we're in traffic, and of course we've got your air conditioning as well. Visually, with the Pro Nav, the carbon fibre, and of course the Sakhir orange leather, it's just a real fascinating, gorgeous place to be. You sit in this and you feel special. It's a car that wants to be seen. It's a car that you want to be seen in, and it's one that just looks absolutely epic. Now we are going to use the optional extra again here of the indicators, and on that stalk, if you click this here, you've also got high beam assist as well. Now you will know that these are rear wheel drive, so driving it in conditions like this can be quite tricky when you're getting off the line if you put your foot down a bit much, because that can happen. You can get a little bit of wheel spin. Like I say, they are quite tetchy on the back end, so I'm going to be very careful going around this island, because they are very big powerful cars that do have a tendency to kick out. But now that the car is up to temperature, what I'll show you, on the steering wheel you have your M2 mode. If you click that button and confirm, you'll hear it totally transforms the car. You get a much louder noise from the Valvetronic exhaust system, which of course is the baffles, and they open and close on certain modes to give you that real thunderous roar. You've also got obviously no traction control on, and on this, the way it's set up and configured, it's automatically in manual gear shift mode for the flappy paddles. Now you can alter that in the settings on the iDrive, but for me, if you're going to have it all out, balls out, this is the way that you would have it. There are, of course, on this 7 gears, so that means you can have plenty more fun all the way up. You've also got the button here on the gearbox, which you can change for the smoothness of gear changes. So if you do get higher in the revs and you need to change, you will have the Kangaroo petrol in there as well. But if you want to change that, you can simply knock it right the way down, and that will change it for you, and it won't make it as sharp and snappy. But this is the mode you would have, as you can see now. When you need to change it, that's exactly what happens. But if you change it down a shift, you'll be able to see that you can just do it nicely, and there's no shortage and no need for it to sort of throw you around in Kangaroo. But it is a really epic car to drive. It does handle really well, but like I say, you have got to be very careful in the wet or the adverse weather conditions, because they can come back to bite you. But what we'll do now, we'll go back to another car park, we'll do some full left lock so you can see, and we'll also be able to just show you exactly how well this car does handle. But you can see, in terms of pickup, effortless. That was 60 from, what, 20 miles an hour? Absolutely effortless. They're great to drive, and they're really comfortable and practical as well. You've got quite a lot of room in the rear. I mean, you're not going to get, you know, hordes of people in there, but you can certainly get enough people in to be comfortable. I mean, it's just a powerhouse. When you put your foot down in the M2 mode, you really do get that sense and essence of the M brand. It's raw, it's absolutely staggeringly quick, and it sounds unbelievable. But you don't have to have it in that. If you turn it off, you can turn the M2 mode off, and you can just have it in your standard mode. It dies down, goes back into drive, and you can drive it as if you would a normal 4 Series. So, window wipers, they are of course controlled by the right hand stalk here behind the steering wheel. If you click them up, you'll see you'll have the severity, and they'll change really fast depending on how many times you click the button. The more you press it down, the slower they'll get, or it will turn them off altogether. But the car itself is an absolutely wonderful invention, and one that you should most certainly try. So what you'll remember is I mentioned briefly when we were going up that road that you had the rev limiter and where it will stop you revving to so it can protect your engine. Now the car's even warmer, that of course has dropped again, and the red line is that little bit closer to you. But yeah, I mean, you've got auto start stop as well, which is quite pointless on this. But you've got your real nice stick shift, your DCT, which is ever reliable. You've got your nice big Pro Nav screen, which of course if you go into this and you click on vehicle information, if you really want, you can measure your power and your torque in terms of horsepower and newton meters. Really easy at any time in your drive. But it's comfortable, it's luxurious, it's fast, and it sounds super meaty. It's really responsive, but again, do please be so careful when you're driving an M4 in weather like today where it's rainy. Even if it's not raining as such, it's a little bit damp. Be aware, because that back end, especially without traction control on, could really turn around to bite you. But overall, it's a staggeringly good car, and one that I think you'd be more than happy with. We'll go now to another car park, run out the traffic, do some left lock, we'll show you everything else that you need to know, and then we'll head back to base. Right, we're finally here. So we've finally reached our destination, which is the car park, and what we'll do now, we'll just show you and demonstrate some full left lock as well as we have the right lock, and we'll put it into park so we can show you exactly how easy it is. Now what you can see here is we can go all the way around, and you can see you've got some full left lock here, which just ensures that you're not going to have any issues in terms of turning circle. So you get quite a good turning circle on this, and you can see there's no knocks, no judder, no skip, and it's not losing the rear end. You've got nice big tight circles and real nice control. Now what we can also do here is you can put it into reverse, and you'll see straight away that your reverse camera pops on and you're able to use the parking sensors. You've got the 360 camera, and you have of course also got your camera there with your guidelines, and you can park nice and easy, and that is activated as soon as reverse gear hits. It's that simple. So there you go, that really is the M4 in all its glory. There's not really much else for me to show you, but thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you at HQ very soon.